Hello all, welcome to MSc Microbiology class. Today we are going to discuss about the MSc Microbiology course CCTP 7 Immunology. We have already started with the chapter Cell Surface Molecules and Receptors. In the previous lectures, we have discussed about the different cell adhesion molecules and their role in activation of immune system. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about the cell signaling molecules. Cell signal, cell signaling, as you know, all the cells they receive the signal and they can produce appropriate response to that signal which they receive from their surroundings. The best example of cell signaling is the bacteria. These bacteria they can sense and swim towards the high concentration of nutrients. Examples like the high concentration of glucose or high concentration of amino acids. So, the number of signaling molecules which may be secreted or they may be expressed on the surface of one cell and they can bind to the receptors which are mainly expressed by other cells. So when these signaling molecules they bind to the receptor, they carry out the integration and produce coordinate function within the individual cells. So these individual cells when they gain the signal, the appropriate changes will take place and these cells will communicate with other cells to make the complex organisms. Now there are six steps in the cell signaling. First step is the synthesis of a particular signaling molecule. Second step is the release of this signaling molecule by the cell which produced them. The third step in the cell signaling is the transport of the signal to the target cell. The fourth step is the signals will be detected by specific receptor protein. So when this receptor protein it receives the signaling molecule, it induces some of the changes within that cell like the changes in the cellular metabolism or in the function or development which was triggered by that particular signal molecule. And the last step is the removal of the signal, and when the signal was removed it terminates the cell signaling process and it terminates the cellular response which was generated by that target cell against a particular kind of the signaling molecule. Now here you can see two ways of signaling molecule. First is signaling by secreted molecules. So here you can see now this is the cell which produces the signaling molecule. So this signaling molecule will be present extracellularly or secreted extracellularly. Now this extracellular signaling molecule they can bind to the receptor which is present on the target cell. This is one of the mechanism by which signaling can take place between the two cells, that is by secretion of extracellular secretion of signaling molecule. Now, the second way by which the signaling can be carried out is the signal molecules which was produced by this signaling cell, they will remain bound or attached to the plasma membrane of the secreting cell. So this membrane bound signaling molecule they can bind to the the two modes of cell signaling. First is the cell surface receptors. So here you can see the cell surface receptor which bind to the signal producing cells, that is they are hydrophilic molecules and they are unable to cross the plasma membrane, and therefore they can bind to the receptor which are mainly expressed on the plasma membrane of the target cell. Now in this case, cell to cell direct interaction will be there. The second type of the mode of cell signaling is intracellular receptors. They play important role. Now here you can see the signal which was produced by a signaling cell. It may be carried by a carrier protein, as these signaling molecules which are involved in the intracellular receptor signaling mode, they are small and the hydrophobic, and therefore they are able to cross the plasma membrane of the cell, target cell. So once they gain entry within the cell, target cell, they can bind to the receptors, intracellular receptors. So these are the two ways of the signaling. First one is the cell surface receptor, and second mode is by using this intracellular receptor by small hydrophobic signaling molecules. Now let's discuss about the different signaling molecules which was secreted by different molecules. Different signaling modes by secreted molecules. So these are classified into three ways, and such a categorization it will based on distance over which these signaling molecules are transmitted. The first type is the endocrine signaling. So, in case of endocrine signaling, the signaling molecules, they are secreted by specialized endocrine cell, and they are carried through the circulation to act on the target cell, which are situated at distant body sites. That is, the signaling molecules will be secreted by the cell, and it will be carried through the circulation to show its effect on the target cell, which is situated at the distant part of the body. Example of such a kind of the signaling endocrine signaling molecules are the steroid hormones. For example, estrogen. Estrogen is mainly produced by ovary, but it will be showing its effect on the female reproductive system. So, the main function of this steroid hormone estrogen is to stimulate the development and to maintain the female reproductive system. Within this diagram, you can see the endocrine mode of signaling. So this is the endocrine cell. It will synthesizes the signaling molecule. Here we can see hormone. Okay. Now this hormone, through this circulation, it can be carried to the target cells which are situated at a distance part or the far away from the hormone secreting cell, and such a kind of the mode of signal cell signaling is known as the endocrine signaling. The next type of the signaling is the paracrine signaling. In case of the paracrine signaling, molecules which was released by the signaling molecule or the signaling cells, they can act on only nearby target cell or the neighboring target cells. For examples are the neurotransmitters. They carry the signals between the nerve cell at a synapse. So here you can see within this figure, paracrine mode of signaling is well explained. Now this is the signaling molecule. It will secrete So here you can see the signaling molecule, it through this local mediator, it can bind to the nearby target cells. Now, the next mode of signaling is autocrine signaling. In case of the autocrine signaling, the cells produces the signaling molecule. These signaling molecules will bind to the receptors of the same cells which produce them. Such a kind of the signaling is known as the autocrine signaling. The best example of autocrine signaling is the response which was generated by the cells of vertebrate immune system against foreign antigen. The second best example which explain autocrine signaling is the cancerous cell. Cancerous cell, their main property is unregulated proliferation. So this unregulated proliferation, it can be carried out by the synthesis of growth factor by this cancerous cell. Now these cells produces the growth factor, and this growth factor will again bind to the receptor of the same cancerous cell, and it will carry out unregulated proliferation of that cancerous cell. So here you can see this is the autocrine signaling. In this case, a group of identical cells, they play important role to generate a strong autocrine signal. Okay. Now this is the cell signaling molecule, cell signaling cell, signal producing cell. Now it will generate some of the signaling molecule. Now this signaling molecule, they bind to the receptor which is present on the same signaling molecule, and such a kind of the signaling is known as the autocrine signaling. Now let's start with the signaling molecules. First signaling molecule is the steroid hormones. The best examples are the testosterone, estrogen, progesterone, corticosteroids, and the ecdysone. All steroid hormones, they are mainly synthesized from the cholesterol. The best example are the testosterone, estrogen, and the progesterone. All these are six steroids, and they are mainly produced by the gonads. For example, corticosteroid, it was mainly produced by the adrenal gland. Glucocorticoids, it help in stimulation of production of glucose. Mineralocorticoids, they act on the kidney, and their main function is to regulate salt and the water balance. The next steroid hormone is the ecdysone, and it is an insect hormone, and it play a role in the key development of metamorphosis of larvae to adult. Next signaling molecule is the nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a major paracrine signaling molecule in the nervous, immune, and the circulatory system. It is mainly synthesized from the amino acid arginine by using the enzyme nitric oxide synthase. Now this nitric oxide, it is able to diffuse directly across the plasma membrane of its target cell, as they are hydrophobic in nature. The main function of this nitric oxide, that is, they alters the activity of different intracellular target enzymes, and they are highly unstable, and their half life is of only few seconds. They can be used as a nitroglycerin in the treatment of heart disease, which their main function is to carry out the dilates the coronary blood vessel and to increase the blood flow to the heart. The next signaling molecule is carbon monoxide. This carbon monoxide it can serve as a signaling molecule in the nervous system, and it mainly carry out the stimulation of guanylate cyclase enzyme. The next signaling molecules are the neurotransmitters. Now these neurotransmitters they carry signals between the neurons, or they may carry signal from neurons to other types of target cells. Now these neurotransmitters they include diverse group of small hydrophilic molecule. The main example of neurotransmitter which act as a signaling molecules are acetylcholine, dopamine, epinephrine, serotonin, gamma aminobutyric acid. Now this neurotransmitter, as they are hydrophilic in nature, they are unable to cross the plasma membrane of their target cells, and therefore they act by binding to the cell surface receptors. So in this case cell to cell interaction will be there. So when this neurotransmitter they bind to the receptor, they induces a conformational changes within that cell. That is, they open the ion channel and it results in change in ion flux of the target cell. Now next signaling molecules which are peptide hormones and the growth factors. So their size will be range from few to more than 100 amino acid residues. They mainly include peptide hormones, neuropeptide and polypeptide growth factors. The best example of these peptide hormones and the growth factors are the insulin, glucagon, pituitary glands hormones like the growth hormones, follicle stimulating hormone or the prolactin. The best example is the neuropeptides like enkephalins and the endorphins. They can function as neurotransmitters as well as neurohormones, and their main function is to decrease the pain responses in the central nervous system. Now, this peptide hormones, the polypeptide growth factor is its function is to control the cell growth of the animal and to control the cell differentiation. Next one is the neurotropin nerve growth factor. It mainly involved in regulation of development and the survival of neurons. Next signaling molecule is the platelet derived growth factor. These are mainly stored in the blood platelets and they are released during the blood clotting at the site of wound. So their main function is to stimulate the proliferation of fibroblasts. Next cell signaling molecule is the cytokine. As you know, we have already discussed these are polypeptide growth factors and they regulate the development and differentiation of blood cells. Their main function is to control the activities of the lymphocyte during the immune response. Next type of the signaling molecules are the membrane anchored growth factors. Now, these are associated with the plasma membrane and they function as signaling molecule during cell to cell interaction. So, the peptide hormones, neuropeptides, and growth factors all are unable to cross the plasma membrane because of their hydrophilic nature, and therefore they act by binding to cell surface receptors. Now, next one is the eicosanoids. It is a class of lipid which act by binding to the cell surface receptors. These eicosanoids it mainly includes prostaglandins, procyclin, thromboxane, and the leukotrienes. Their main function is to act in a autocrine or paracrine mode of signaling, and they mainly carry out the aggregation of the blood platelets. In addition to that, they are also responsible for the generation of inflammatory response, and they also carry out the contraction of smooth muscles. Now these eicosanoids they are mainly derived from arachidonic acid, and this arachidonic acid was derived from the phospholipids. So here you can see these phospholipids can be converted or broken down into the arachidonic acid. Arachidonic acid will broken down into the prostaglandins H2 by cyclooxygenase pathway, and finally it leads to the generation of thromboxane. Now the next hormone are the plant hormones. Plant growth and development are also regulated by a group of small molecules which are called as the plant hormones. There are five major classes. First one is the auxin. This auxin it induces the elongation of the plant cell by carrying out the weakening of the cell wall. In addition to that, they are also involved in regulation of cell division and differentiation. The next class is the gibberellin. It carry out the elongation of the stem. Cytokine it is involved in the cell division process. Abscisic acid responsible for the onset of dormancy. Ethylene it is mainly involved or it helps in the ripening process of the fruit. So these are the examples of five classes of the plant hormones: auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, abscisic acid, and the ethylene. All these will regulate growth and development of the plant. Now these are the references. Thank you.